Boom. Greetings. Welcome to the I Have a Dream podcast. I'm your host, Nevada O'Davian Franklin Harper. And today we have with us my co-host, Daniel Gomez, and my guest. He beats everyone on the field. He is silky and slippery like a snake. Do not step to him. He is the best. And he goes by the name Shaqqi Fresh. Now, Shaqqi Fresh, for the people who do not know who you are, go ahead and tell the viewers, who is Shaqqi Fresh?
Shaquille Saunchez.
Shaquille Saunchez.
What else do they want to know?
Let them know who you are. Who is Shaqqi Fresh?
Just a dude that likes to play ball. That's about
Just
it.
a dude that likes to play ball.
You know, nothing too special about it. Just get out there and try to get some touches in. That's just about it from me.
That's about it. So, that's not who he is. Shaqqi Fresh is a baller, right?
Yep.
He's a baller, one of the best that we know. Runs around Danny like Danny's not there, right? Shaqqi Fresh is very skillful. We're gonna show some clips right now.
Oh yeah.
Yes, Shaqqi Fresh is very skillful. Always score goals, especially in big matches. So now we're gonna figure out how did he get so good. So now, Shaqqi Fresh, my first question is to you: is what was your dream growing up as a kid?
Dream going up is to play ball. You know, wanted to play it at the highest level that you can get to. But you know, things happen and things change as you get older. The dreams change, but you try to make adjustments and continue dreaming.
Continue dreaming. Beautiful. So where did it all started?
Where it all started?
Yes. Do you live in America? Or?
I do live in America, yes.
So you started playing football in America?
No, I grew up in Kingston, Jamaica. Started playing ball with my uncle in Jamaica for the church team.
What?
You don't know that? Yeah, I started playing for the church team.
Church?
At a young age. You know, Jamaicans, everybody goes to church.
Well, that's true.
That's the thing. Everybody has a church, and the one thing that connected us was the church and the ball. So that's where it all started. Went to Vaz Preparatory School. You know, yeah.
Vaz Prep.
Vaz Prep, with Jamie. Jamie
Hyde.
Yeah.
Jamie Hyde.
And our famous Damian Lowe.
Damian
was also
Lowe.
on that team.
Yo.
So we went to Vaz Prep, then played there, church ball. Then went to Kingston College. 5 years, you know, one Pepsi, 2 years there. Didn't really turn out on the Manning Cup team. Never really got the run, and then went to Excelsior High School, and that's where, you know, things kind of took a turn.
Wait. So before we just jump all the way to Excelsior, because Danny don't know what we're talking about.
No idea.
So before we jump all the way to Excelsior, let's talk about that stellar team at Vaz Prep. You had Jamie Hyde, and the notorious Nandi.
Damian Lowe was the captain.
Damian Lowe. So how did you get into that team?
Well, we went to the school. We just went to the school, and we were good enough. We were one of the top 2 prep schools in the country, I think, at the time, with Mona Prep. That had, what's his name? Omar Holness was on that team, Mona Prep team. Yeah, so we used to go back and forth with them. So we were just lucky enough to grow up in the right time, and we were able to build something there.
Right, and you think that it was at that prep school that you acquire your certain type of certain playing style? No.
Nah, years later.
So you left from prep school.
Yeah. Went to high school.
High school, which is
Kingston
KC.
College, yeah.
Kingston College. Big up to the Kingston College guys. Where's your purple? You should be wearing purple right now.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Were you going to school with Leon Bailey when Leon Bailey was there?
Leon Bailey?
Yeah, Leon Bailey.
No, I don't think.
No. Oh, unfortunately. So you went to KC, and tell us about your time at KC, Kingston. By the way, for the people who do not know what KC is one of the biggest schools in Jamaica, and schoolboy football is like the biggest league in Jamaica, right?
Yeah, between it and track and field.
Between it and track and field. So yes, go ahead and tell us about your time.
We went to KC. It was all right, you know. School was school.
Yeah.
You know, all boys school. Yeah. So most things was about sports.
Yeah.
Making sure you get good grades. You know, try to stay humble within your means. I was never really on any of those teams I made. I was never really a guy on it. Like, you know, I was always on the bench. Yeah, I was always on the bench. 1 year I played right back. Just
What?
to play. Yeah, so
Well,
it's yeah, that's why I told you it didn't really start kicking on for me until a little later in my little career that I had. So
No wonder why you want to fast forward all the way to.
nah, it's
to
not
Excelsior.
about it's not about fast forward. There's just not really much at KC. You know, there was
Yeah.
good. It's just good players.
Yeah.
As I said, Jamie Hyde was on that team at KC. There was Romario Williams, like a lot of good players there. A couple players that went to college after they were all on that team, on those KC teams. So it was hard to make. It was once you made it, you were good. But playing time wasn't something that we would see actively.
Wasn't ideal.
Nah, it wasn't the best situation for me
So,
at the time.
so you left from Casey, right?
Yeah, so in Jamaica, fifth form. What's fifth form here? Is that?
Well, fifth
12?
form, like
probably
12
senior in high school.
senior.
Yeah, so I was a senior in high school. We have to do that CXC stuff.
Oh yeah.
So,
Beautiful
I had
stuff.
the age to play still, so I just repeated back my senior year
Right.
and did it over. Went to Excelsior. Better environment.
Yeah.
One thing that changed was there was girls now. So
Hey.
you got to make sure you're
Distracted.
you have to be either you're good at sports or you got to be smart. You can't just be walking around kind of stupid. So went to Excelsior and played Manning Cup with Aleman.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
Big
Aleman was
coach.
Aleman was my coach, and that was something. I would tell you what. There's always a lot of jokes about that man.
Yeah. Give us one right now.
Like, he had a nephew
Yes.
on the team. We called him Aleman too. And there was a game we played. I'll never forget it. A game we played against Calabar,
Yeah.
and we played him at Constant Spring.
Yes.
And he said to his nephew. His nephew was starting at right wing. I would start up top. And he said to his nephew, "You have 25 minutes to impress me, or I'm going to sub you out."
Yeah.
And coaches say stuff like that all the time.
Yeah.
You don't run hard enough. Yeah, I'm going to take you out. So nobody really believed him.
Right.
But Aliman is a serious guy.
Right.
So 25 minutes comes, and the board goes up. And
He subs
goes.
out
No matter
his
what.
own nephew?
I think his own nephew. This is his family.
What?
Like, this is his guy. Like, this is his kid. Like, basically the guy he
Aliman.
looked out for.
Yeah.
Took him off. 25 minutes in. And everybody was like, oh. I guess he
What?
doesn't mess around.
Yeah, no joke.
Yeah,
Yo.
and there was another time. So that was when color and boots started coming around. It
Right.
was like 2016.
Yeah.
No, later. 2012.
2016.
Yeah. Terrible, terrible.
What?
My math is off. 2012. That the color and boots came out. Those Mercurials. There was like a pink one with a blue tick.
Uh-huh.
And the green one, and the dark green, and like the neon green was on the tick.
Right.
So then boots started coming out, color, all that, and the man bought us some copas. You know what copas are? Heavy,
Yeah.
thick, but
Yeah.
they black and white, down to business. That's all. No flash, no flare, no nothing. Everybody was in copas. So there was a game. We warmed up. Everybody took out their fancy because everybody buys boots at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Or cleats, yeah. You go and you we come out the bus now. We come out the bus and we're all going to go warm up, and we warm up. And the one thing he always does is he has an igloo that he sits on.
Yeah.
And he has his umbrella, and he sits there, and he's watching the warm-up. And, like, a couple passes go, and he gets up, and he's like, hold on. What is that on your feet? What are those? So I'm telling you, like, all 18 men had on, nobody had on copas. Because we were like, yo, we going to play.
Yeah.
We want to play in our cleats.
Uh-oh.
So he said, hey, everybody go change, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
So we finished the warm-up. We go back to the bus. He does his pre-match speech. And we're walking out, like, the line. And he stops it because some people didn't change.
Yeah.
And they have to change their boots. They have to slow down the game. The game couldn't start until everybody changed their boots.
That's my type of coach right there. That's my type of coach.
Yeah, I played with Bantan.
Yeah?
Bantan was my he played on the right. Yeah, Bantan photo. He probably did. Yeah, we played against Hydel Stadium.
interrupt the podcast again, I'll punch you right in the face.
Live right here, live.
Live on the podcast. We have Skeeter in the background if anybody is wondering who is talking. But yeah, so what's his name? What, Aliman? Aliman. So earlier today we were speaking with someone and we heard this story with what's the guy named Bumpy? Have you heard that story with Bumpy?
Bumpy ended up going with Maz.
You right. You know that story? Share that story with us.
Oh, you have to remind me a little.
So Bumpy was on the field and Aliman was telling him to play a certain way and Bumpy wasn't playing good. So Aliman screamed at him and said, "Bumpy, do you have a penis or a vagina?" And Bumpy said, "A penis, coach." and Aliman said, "So act like it. Act like you have a penis."
I don't remember that one vividly, but I could tell you that's probably something he's done. Like the stuff, some of the stuff. Like he sent me home. Oh yeah, he sent me home. So we normally do this camp. I don't know if they do it anymore. So we do like a Manning Cup camp. So like if we have games Monday, Wednesday, and a Saturday, we'd stay at school. So we wouldn't go home. We'd train, sleep at school, go to school, come back again. That's like if we have games close by.
Right, those are the worst.
So he was like, something happened, and I didn't do something, or I got there late, like after school and something. And he said, and he sits under the tree. So there's like a stairway and a tree, and then you walk down and you go to the field. So he can look over the practice, right? Mm-hmm. So he's under the tree, under his umbrella, and I'm walking down the stairs. And he's like, Sanchez! He's like, don't worry going. Don't bother going. So I'm like looking around. Cause I'm like, what does he mean? What? Yeah. But I was late cause I was in a higher, so I was like a super senior by that time now. So I had like one more year in school, yada yada yada. Yeah. So my schedule is a little bit different. Some classes go later. Yeah. And he was like, "Yeah, man, come. So I'm like, oh, shit. So I walk up and we had a cook. Oh, I can't remember his name. He died recently. I can't remember his name. He used to watch over us when we slept over. He was like from the neighboring town, so he used to watch over us while he stayed. R.I.P. He was like, "Sanchez, don't leave." Yeah. I was like, "What do you mean don't leave?" He said to go. He said, "Listen to me." He said, "Don't leave." So I sat there. Right. So he's sitting there, and the tree's between us, and I'm sitting here, and he's doing the practice while I'm here. And then the guy said, "Go run." Yeah. And I said, "What do you mean run? He told me to go home." Yeah. What do you think? So now I'm running. So I was like, "Go run." So I go and run. Right. And like I do about, they're doing the tracks, they're doing everything, and I do about 10 laps. 10 laps I'm doing. And at one point he screams out, "Why are you running?" And he goes, "Since you love to run home." He said, "Run home." Yo. And like I'm about to stop, and I see the guy again, and he's like, "Don't stop." He's like, "Don't stop." Yeah. So this was like an hour now. I did about 20 laps. Practice done. Yeah. Everybody's getting ready to go to dinner, shower, and go to dinner, and the guy's still there. So I'm like, because I don't know what to do now. This man, 20 laps, he ain't saying nothing to me. Right. Like, so then he says to the cook, he didn't say it to me, he says to the cook, "Tell Sanchez, don't be late again." And he just drive off, and he just drove off. Just like that? Just drove off. He just drove off. Wow. He's a legend. That's the coach that KO needs then. You need to take that information and get it. I don't think that style of coach will work here. Nah, that style of coach will work here. So you're at Excelsior at the time, and this is the coach that molded you into who you are today. I would say that he kind of helped in learning to take rejection, like understanding that there's different types of people. Right. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he treated all of us the same. Like, he never, like as I told you about his nephew, there was no special treatments. Like, he yelled at everybody, he yelled at the star players, he yelled at everybody. So, if you were going to play, you'd have to, like, buy into what he's doing. Because when he came back, so he was an old coach. Right. He left for a couple of years, and there was people in between. And majority of the players before that left because he was coming back. Because, like, he's, like, no-nonsense, old-school coach. Yeah. The players were so intimidated that they Bumpy. Left. Yeah. Bumpy left, went to Woomers. There's a couple more people that left, went to Woomers.
Right.
Went to Camperdown. A couple of them left right as soon as he came in that first day of preseason. They was like, nah. Like Zalano Barnes. I don't know if you remember him.
Barnes.
He scored that World Cup goal against Argentina. He was at Excelsior, and that coach came back. He went to George's. That's how he ended up at George's. You know.
Ooh.
So yeah, a lot of people left after that, but the people that stayed wanted to play, and the only way to play is to kind of do what he says.
Right.
Even if it didn't make sense, he just did what he says.
And
you
you had to stay.
Yeah, so I know I was already there.
Yeah.
You know, I was enjoying myself in the school and stuff like that, so why not? You know, just
You get introduced to girls, no?
No, not like that. I knew girls before that. Before that time, I knew girls.
Oh, God.
So yeah, I wouldn't say he molded me into what I am today. He just kind of helped me understand that there's different types of people.
Yes.
Everybody, there's people that might care for you, but show it in a different way.
Okay.
So you just got to understand that some people might not show the same level of caring
Right.
in a certain way.
In the same.
So you have to understand that some people just reflect it differently. So
Right.
I think that's the best thing you did for me. Like, you just showed me that there's
Nice.
different ways to coach and different ways to get in your. It might not be the right way,
Yeah.
but it still taught me that there's people out there that kind of project it that way.
Project a different type of care. So, yeah. So at Casey, you were playing right back.
That's like a couple games, yeah, just to get on the field. Just to get on the field.
So you're just like, oh, I'll volunteer to play right back just to play.
Yeah, you know, you play right wing at that age.
Yeah.
You can play right back.
Right. So you played right back at Casey.
Mm-hmm.
So now that you moved to Excelsior, what position?
So I
were
played
you
right
playing
wing
now?
at Excelsior.
You're playing in your rightful position, right
Yeah,
wing.
right wing, yeah.
And what makes you? Why do you like to play right wing?
I wouldn't say now, like, it's my favorite position.
Yeah.
But I normally play on the left now when I go play. But back then it was really just I was kind of quicker than everybody else in some aspects. Well, you come from Jamaica, there's quick players everywhere.
Right.
But like that first step, I was a little bit quicker than most people. And I wouldn't say I was like balling or
Right.
the top of what I was doing. Just certain situations happened, and I ended up getting on the field, and it was tough to get me off. When the first game, so that last year of Manning Cup, I played striker. We played the first game of the season.
Striker.
Yeah, I played striker. That's what I first was playing.
How you like that?
It was all right, you know. Jamaica's different, though. Like,
Yeah.
the ball game in Jamaica is a lot different. It's not about, you know, the fields are a little bit bumpy, so everything's quicker. Everything's, like, more electrifying, as in, like, because the ball is never really under control.
Yes.
Everything looks like a 50-50. Everything looks like a
Right.
good sprint, a fight, because the field is also in play.
Makes
I didn't
sense.
really like it.
Yeah.
Didn't really like it, so we played Campion College. This was
Okay.
when we played Campion College. I scored 2 goals in the first game of the season.
Killer.
First game of the season. I'm telling you, my mom was there, everything.
Killer.
Everything, man.
Yo.
Good, man. Oh, one time I scored, the opposing team's fan high-fived me. He's like, oh, that's a great goal. I was like, ooh.
Prime
Finished the season with 2
Ronaldinho.
goals. I played about 15 games. We made 2 semifinals. I was finished with 2 goals.
The only 2 goals was
Only 2 goals was that first game. We won that game like I think like 12-0.
Oh,
That was my only 2 goals of the season. Of the season. I swear,
Yo.
only 2 goals of the season.
How you feel? How you feel?
Well, back then, like playing the games, it wasn't like wanting to score. That wasn't like my thing. It was more. I was fine giving people the assist. I was fine giving like that because I never like the goal growing up in the soccer world. I wasn't never thought of myself as a guy or somebody that could do it. I always took that supporting role.
Yeah.
So I was fine to give somebody a pass or whatever. So, but when you look back at it, like 2 goals in 15 games, ugh.
No comment.
Who wants that? You know what I'm saying? So
It's terrible.
it's just like, you know, life lessons you learn.
Yeah. And
So-
that was what league at the time? What was
That was
it
the
Pepsi?
Manning Cup. That
Oh,
was the Manning
Manning
Cup.
Cup?
That was my last year, yeah.
Your last year? No.
Right before I went to college, yeah.
What did your coach say?
Well,
Aliman.
as I say, we were winning.
Oh, okay, so it didn't really matter.
There was a guy on the team, Brian. Oh, I can't remember his last name.
Yeah.
He scored about 15 goals. So he was the guy.
Yeah.
So give it to Brian. Brian will score. You cross it to Brian. Brian will score, and they did. So
Killer.
we won games. We won games we probably people thought we weren't going to win. We made the 2 semifinals. That is the Manning Cup and the Walker Cup at the time. Now they have a bunch of different cups now. But those 2 we made the semifinals. We lost to JC.
Right. Oh, you lost to JC.
We lost to JC in the Walker Cup.
That's a good school.
And then we lost to Heido. That was when Heido just started knocking on the doors.
Right.
They beat us 2-1, I think, in extra time in the stadium.
Right. So, and you said you left straight from Excelsior. You played into college. What college?
Yeah,
Did you came to America to play
I came
college?
to America in 2013.
Hold on. So before you came to college, right? I want to reverse a little bit back in Jamaica. So you were playing in the last year of your soccer career, right? At school.
That was like upper 6. They call it upper 6 in
Upper
Jamaica.
6, right?
That's so the equivalent to that in America is like an associate's degree. That's like going to a JUCO or community college or something like that, the first 2 years. So I have my associate's degree from Excelsior. So I have that.
Oh, that's so interesting.
The funny thing is, so after that season, obviously I scored 2 goals.
Yes.
I'm not thinking about, I can move. So backtrack to my uncle.
Yeah.
He played in college in America, in Lee University, somewhere down in the South.
Yeah.
So he's been through that channel.
Okay.
So this is something I didn't know until he mentioned the whole thing to me, that he was doing it for me. He was looking at schools and stuff like that to see if I can get into a school.
Right.
So, but this thing happened that because our team did so good, or whatever, we got invited to, there was a college combine in Jamaica, in Clarendon, at Tasty Juicy Patty Field or something like that.
Yeah.
In Clarendon.
Wow.
And so there was a bunch of colleges. Dayton was there, Cincinnati.
These are colleges from America.
America.
Wow.
It was 15 to 20 coaches from D1 schools, all there. It was 30 of us, and we just played 11v11.
Yeah.
So he got me into that.
Yeah.
Got a couple other Excelsior players into it.
Yeah.
And we went. I did pretty good at that. So that's when Sacred Heart was they wanted me to come go to school there. But then,
right.
So that was the last year Sacred Heart took SAT.
Yes.
So you have to do the SAT. That was the last year. I'm not the best student. I'm not gonna act like I did. I did enough to pass.
You see yourself.
It's not good to say. It's not good to say, but I did enough to make sure I was passing and make sure I got the grades that would get me either to graduate or get me into UTech or UE or one of those. That's what my thought was. Yeah. I wasn't thinking of going anywhere. I was probably going to be at UTech, UE, do whatever they are supposed to do, walk the path you're supposed to walk. But then, so he was doing that behind the scenes. He didn't really tell me about it.
Yeah.
So I did the SATs. Apparently, I don't remember the scores, but Sacred Heart needed a 1280.
Yeah.
To get in, and I got a 1250 or something like that.
Yeah.
So I didn't get it, so I wasn't able to go, and so I was all right, then I'll just go to UTech. It was whatever.
UTech is a college in Jamaica, by the way.
Yes, University of Technology.
Sorry. Yes.
Reinhardt University. It's an NAIA school in Waleska, Georgia.
Yes.
So my uncle, I guess, was doing some stuff behind the scenes, and the coach was like, yeah, we want him, yada, yada, yada. And it went from, this was June 20 something.
Right.
School started August 1st. I didn't get to Reinhardt University until August 20th. So I missed the first 2 weeks of school. Missed whole preseason. I missed the first game of the season. And I got there with the second game. I didn't play because I wasn't registered or whatever. Right. So that's how it all happened. It just quick.
Just like that.
I left Jamaica with one suitcase, one suitcase, a backpack, and some headphones. Not even headphones. I just left.
Just left.
Boof.
Just like that. A quick question. So during this time, what age are you?
Probably 18.
He's not the best at math.
17 or 18.
I'm not the best with my age. Yeah, this was in 2013, 2012.
2012.
Yeah, so 12 years ago. 18.
So you were 18 at the time.
18 going 19.
So you were 18, and you have peers from your prep school like Damian Lowe, Jamie.
Damian Lowe had already gone.
Right. So I knew that they were playing at the Jamaica. They were playing for Jamaica. They were representing their
the youth
country.
level, yeah.
They were playing in Jamaica biggest league, the Jamaica Premier League, and you were taking this other path. Did it ever occur to you like, wow, these are my peers, and they're playing where I want to play?
Well, you know, kids aren't stupid.
Yeah.
Like, so I knew they were better. They were better players. They were better players. Like, Damian Lowe was the captain of his high school team. He was, like, he brought that team up from wherever they were at, like Camperdown.
Yeah.
So, and then Jamie was playing for the national team and stuff like that. You know,
Yep.
like, yeah, I knew, and we were in class together too at Casey.
Right.
So it was just, you just understand, you just know, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? If the 11 gets picked, you know who's starting.
Right.
You know the 5 people that might start, exactly the 100% they're going to start. The other spots are up for grabs.
Yeah.
Jamie was one of those players that, you know, he was young. Jamie was playing U19 ball in 7th grade.
Yeah.
Bro.
He was playing both leagues.
That's what he told us.
Yeah, he was playing both of them.
Sick.
So you knew that. So you as a kid, you just know, all right, that guy's better than me.
Yeah.
And his path might be different, but he's better. So you understand it.
Yeah.
But in that phase, did you still figure like, you know, I still have the dream of going pro? I still want to try to make it.
I think at that time, no.
Yeah.
Because as I said, I didn't know what was going on behind, but my goal was to go to school in Jamaica for college.
Right.
Like I was like, oh, I got in. No, nice. You know, just play some ball on the side, go to school, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't anything like, oh my God, I want to go to college in America, or oh my God, I want to be pro. It was, you know, if it happened, it happened. But
Yeah.
I had to make sure that basis was covered. I couldn't go home and sit down.
Right.
You know what I mean? So in that moment, probably no. I probably said I wouldn't think of anything would come out of it.
Right.
I just was
Just going
just
through the
knowing
flow.
where I was at that moment.
Yes.
You kind of can see where the door's leading.
Okay.
So that's why this college thing kind of was out of the blue, and I jumped on it as soon as possible.
Just grabbed it like that.
Oh yeah,
No hesitations.
no hesitations. I didn't even
Same.
know where Waleska, Georgia was.
Yeah.
I didn't even know where it was.
I don't know. What was the school name? What was the school?
Reinhardt University.
D1?
No, it was NAIA. So you have the NCAA and you have NAIA.
Okay.
So it was NAIA in Waleska, Georgia. The only thing I knew was the coach's name, and it was 30 minutes from Atlanta.
Because you never got a visit or anything before.
No.
You just
Mm-mm.
boom, go.
Popped in there.
First time traveling on a plane.
No, not first.
Okay. So we're fast forwarding now to college. Yes. So what was it like? Your first, well, not your first time still, but what was it like playing in
my
college?
first time
Yeah.
being alone. Like, this was like just me.
How did that feel?
It was an adjustment.
Yeah.
You know, there's certain things that your mom does for you.
Yeah.
Or like your family or something like that you just have to start getting used to, and it's changing, like doing the laundry and stuff like that. You don't like,
Come on.
what are you talking about? You know how often you have to do laundry as a college student? Yeah, you need and you got to pay, and you got to figure out what you want to wash this time and what you don't want to wash this time.
He can't do laundry.
Of course I can do laundry. I had to learn in college like him. It
Yeah,
sucks.
you have to learn. So you
Yeah, go
learn
ahead.
something, and it was like, it was an adjustment because,
Yeah.
as I said, I was alone, didn't really have family. Well, so my mom got in touch with some distant cousins that live in the area.
Yeah.
And so he came, Randy came and took care of me for, like, just got me settled, like, that first week of college. Got me, like, cases of water. That's where I met ramen noodles. He's like, yo, you gonna need these?
Yo.
Yeah, he took me to get a haircut and all that. Yeah, so that's probably the only, Randy was there. So because, like, on holidays, everybody went home.
Yeah.
Couldn't go home. So Randy would come and get me. We have get a bite to eat, take me back. But still, you were kind of alone, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the dorm, quiet. If you don't have a TV, you're just looking at your thoughts.
Mm.
Got a laptop, there's not much else to do. So
Wow.
it was an experience, but getting in there, it was intimidating because you're an 18-year-old kid
Yeah.
coming from someplace you've never been before, and then you gotta kind of stomp your claim. You gotta make sure everybody understands what you're trying to do.
Oh yeah.
In that,
Big dogs in town.
nah, not necessarily big dogs. Like I didn't know what was going on.
Okay.
I just pulled up. You know, it's different though. You know, like in Jamaica, like you got to be kind of older to really stomp your claim.
Yeah.
Most times the young kids don't get in.
Right.
But here, if you played well, he gave you a shot. So that coach, he not really the most with the knowledge of the game or something like that, but he did his best to put the right team out, get us pumped and all that. So, but you know, he gave me a shot, and I kind of took it when I got there.
Still playing right wing.
So I went there playing right wing. I was very quick. So quick in Jamaica is different from quick in America. All right? Like there's 4 or 5 kids on the team that's probably quick in Jamaica.
Yeah.
But Jamaica quick and America quick is 2 different quick. So I was quick for them. So it was easy, you know. So and then I did pretty good for my first year, my freshman year. I think I got all second team freshman or something like that.
Yeah.
Scored a couple goals, 4 or 5 or something like that. So it's a pretty good season, and we lost the game, and they fired the coach, or they let the coach go, and that's where everything like changed. That's how I ended up in Connecticut. The new coach came in.
Yeah.
This is the coach that won the conference, so it's the same. So the coach that won the conference that I was in transferred and came to the school that I was at. Right? Something went down at the old school, and all of a sudden he took the place. So now we're doing spring now. So there's a fall and a spring season. Spring you don't really do much, but so that's when he was evaluating players of who's going to stay and who's not. So sometime in May he started. So he said, okay, he's going to let everybody know his decision in May. He's going to send us emails. So this is how he did it. I'll never forget this day. He sent emails to everybody that was going to be staying first. So, like, the email started at, like, 9 a.m.
Yeah.
So people were getting emails at 9 a.m., 12, 1, 2. So it was me and my boy Marty. Marty was a Canadian. And me and Marty are chilling. And so he sends Marty an email, and you can see Marty's face. Like, it wasn't a good email. So then I'm like, oh shit. Like, cause you know now I'm in the system and I understand now. Yeah. You're on some money. Yeah. And basically they need that money. He needs that money for somebody else. Yep. So then if I see that Marty, who was also on money, it's gone. There's no way. He sends all the good emails in the morning. Yeah. I haven't gotten mine. Yeah. Boom. So he sends the email, and it basically says, "Hey, I need to speak to you. Are you down to come down to the office?" Yeah. And so I take that walk, long walk, my time. I go down to the office, and I sit in his and he's over there. Hey, how you doing? I'm like, all right. And he basically tells me that, listen, there's no spot for you here next year. We're gonna, take the money and put it somewhere else. And I remember saying, what else could I do different? What else could I have done differently? Yeah, something like that. And basically, the run around, whatever. But in all this essence, he was bringing in players from his old school. Oh, so he needed the spots and the money to balance it out. I remember he's talking across from me, and I'm looking down, like there was a paper in front of me, because he gave you like a sheet, like evaluation sheet. There's a paper in front of me, and I'm looking down at the paper, and like a tear falls on the paper. And he's like talking to me, so I stopped listening, because I already got what he was saying. Yeah. So like my brain is like, what the hell am I about to do? Well, what am I gonna do now? Like, there's nothing else, right? So take my walk back up to my dorm. I sit in my dorm, and I'm like, okay, I gotta do something. So, long story short, some of my teammates that were gonna stay helped me. I know Matt Amos gave me his laptop to edit video. So I sat down for hours editing video on the kid's MacBook.
Wow.
Like sometimes I have to stop for a night and give him back his Mac and go back to my dorm and then use it again the next day. So I was editing a video, like a highlight reel. It's probably online. And as you can see, there's like a mouse
Yeah.
in the middle of the highlight video.
Yeah.
Because like I would play the video and I record it, but I wouldn't have moved the cursor. So the cursor's in the middle of the video, and then some of the clips you see the cursor fly out the screen. So I'm like, I always say to myself, that was my first time editing the video.
Yeah.
So I make that video, and then school ends. So now I go back to Randy's house, who lived in like a little bit outside Atlanta, and so now I'm sending out mad emails to all coaches. Like I'm like it was a 4 or 6 hour process that day. I looked at a conference, I looked at a team, and whatever team, whatever school,
Yeah.
whatever they played, whoever they played, I send an email to all the coaches. I wouldn't upwards of about 300 emails to 300 schools that day. Just boom, 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 boom.
Wow.
Out of that 300 or so emails,
Yeah.
I think I got about 10 back.
10 out of 300.
10. I got one of the notables ones. I got Providence, Georgetown,
Yeah.
a couple smaller ones, and then the one Sacred Heart. So this is the same guy that was there the year before that wanted me to come.
Yes.
So we started talking, and he was like, I want you to come to visit the school. So when I went to school, my mother then moved to America. So once I went to college, her and my brother moved to America.
Right.
So now my mom was living in New York. So I was like, all right, bet. So we got to get from Atlanta to New York
To
now
New York.
to then go to Connecticut to see this guy. I took the Greyhound, 30-hour bus ride. Not 30, 13, something now. I went on the bus at like 6 a.m., got to New York at like 2 a.m. 2 days later, or a day later, or whatever. Crazy. Never do it again. I'll never do it again.
Trust me.
Ever do it again. I wouldn't wish that on my enemies, man. That bus ride it was long.
You said it took 30 hours?
13?
Oh, 13?
Something like that.
Oh, that's nothing.
But like, that was back then.
20 hours.
That was back then. Now it's probably better, but that was back then when it was like a double decker, one side and down, and we were all crammed in. And you're getting different people from different stops, so it makes like 16 stops on the way. It doesn't just go straight; it stops because they change bus drivers. So I'm just a little 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid sitting in the bus,
Yeah.
and there was a heavy-set woman,
Yeah.
and she went to the bathroom, and like her husband went to wherever they stopped. And
Right.
he comes back on and she yells, "Hey, guess who fit in the bathroom?" And I'm like, yo, what am I into right now? You know? So I take that ride, take that bus ride, and I landed in Times Square. Times Square, the same one suitcase that I had. Times Square, and I go see my mom, and then we take the train subway to Brooklyn. That's where she was at, and we stayed in Brooklyn for like 2 weeks. And then I had to go to Sacred Heart. So I had to do a summer class. First I went to visit.
Right.
Didn't really matter to me.
Right.
I could have been in a dump. I probably would have still gone.
Desperate.
Yeah, so the thing was, he was telling me that it was between me and a French guy. There's a French guy that they were trying to get over. And it wasn't working out. So I basically took his spot.
Okay.
Got a full scholarship. So it was a better scholarship than the one I had at my old school.
Wow.
Congrats.
And it was in D1. So it was basically just worked out. As I said, it just, right place, the right time, right email, the right time. You could have easily looked over it, didn't see it.
Yeah.
So sometimes it works out. So
amazing. And so, man, that is a really amazing story. So let me ask you this question, though, because at no point I've heard you mention your father at any point in your journey or in your story.
Growing up, he wasn't really around.
Yeah.
He was there for a couple of times and stuff like that, but majority of the time he wasn't around.
Yeah. I know you would have been proud today. I know you would have been proud today. Beautiful. So now you're at this new college, right? Was it intimidating for you when you're trying to get your spot and all of that?
Because now basically everybody knows who's on scholarship, who's on full rides, who's on this. They might not say it, but everybody knows.
Everybody knows. Okay.
Players know this and that. So basically, I walk in with a target on my back because like I'm supposed to be. You get a full scholarship, you're supposed to be the guy.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
This is the reason why we brought you in. You're supposed to be the guy. The first year we played, that was 2014. We didn't win a game. We went 0-16 and like 0-15 and 5. Like
Really?
We drew like 5, lost 15. But we didn't lose any game like 6-0, 7-0. It was always 2-1, 3-1, 1-0. We lost. We played Delaware.
Yeah.
We played UMBC that year. They were ranked. That one striker got drafted. We lost to UMBC 2-1. We lost to Delaware on a Friday night. 1,500 people, 1-0, their opener. So it wasn't like we were losing mad games, but at the end of the day, you don't win the game.
Right.
You play 18 games and don't win the game. Like, what are we doing? So that first year was like the players you play against were better.
Yeah.
Like the other teams, the defenders, like Nico Brett was going to Robert Morris at the time. Nico Brett and Speedy Williams.
Yeah.
They were seniors at Robert Morris at the time.
Can't
So
get
I
around
played
them
against
too.
them. Never forget, Speedy Williams scored like in the last minute at Sacred Heart to win. Yeah. That's when Nico Brett was scoring mad goals. He just scored. He was scoring for fun in college. He scored, So, so it was a transition.
Yeah.
Because now I was playing striker. I wasn't
Okay.
playing right wing. I was playing striker.
Okay.
I don't think I scored that year either. So it wasn't a good transition. Maybe it was my fault we didn't win the game. But yeah, it was just a different experience, different challenge,
Yeah.
But then, you get comfortable. Kind of takes a year to settle in.
Yeah.
The next year was pretty better. But then my last year was probably my best year there.
Yeah.
My senior year.
How did that go?
I think in the summer, before my senior year, we kind of were tired of like, even around campus, like, the soccer team sucks. Or like, people talk,
Yeah.
because that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Eventually, mumblings happen. So,
Right.
like, we kind of got tired that year and just was like, let's try to, like, so in the summer, we, like, got up. We used to do camps. I used to do those kids' camps.
Yeah.
With the school, and then so we used to train before that, like about 6 of us, 8 of us. Tyler Carlos was the grad assistant because his uncle was the coach, so he was a grad assistant, and he used to come out and practice with us at 6 a.m. Before the camps. Yeah, so shout out to Tyler. He was there when he helped out with us. A lot of us. It was like me, Dylan, Ezra. Like a couple of us were out there just getting some touches in, working on it, and. So it worked out the senior year where I felt like that summer, because we took it a little bit more seriously and wanted to, like, mainly me, because, like, I only had 1 year left.
Yeah.
Kind of want to, leave a season that year. It's your season.
Right.
So I did well. I think I scored, like, 9 or 10 goals.
Right.
Got, like,
Killer.
first team, all in EC, the conference and stuff like that. Or an award, I think, something like that. Just at my mom's house. So, but I think that's when that senior year is when things changed. Like understanding that I could do it. Like I could be the guy or could be somebody important on a team. Like not just a second name or like some people would have to look at me.
Right.
So the real turning point is, so as I got older, I started playing like different games now. This is past college, different teams.
Right.
I was playing against people that I used to play in college, or I ended up on a team that I used to play in college. I remember one kid told me, like before they had a game against Sacred Heart, the only like thing the coach like put on the board was like pay attention to number 10. He said that was the only like. They obviously talked about like the shape and all that, or we played.
Yeah.
But like the only like eyes on the player.
Yeah.
Was like you have to watch number 10.
And you were number 10 at the
And I
time.
was number 10.
Killer.
So when he told me that,
Yeah.
that's when like I looked back and I was like, oh, I guess I was doing something.
Yeah.
For people to like
Feel good.
scout you, because like every game you do a scout, like coaches put up numbers. They watch out for number 11. He likes to whip it on the left foot. Blah, blah, blah. So it was like eye opening for him to say that, and
Wow.
like I was
must
like,
have
oh
felt
shit,
nice.
okay. And so maybe I'm not as bad as I thought.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so after that senior year, graduated. So we were playing spring ball. Spring ball is just like you go play, get some fitness in. I don't know, just to see what, be sharp, be ready for whatever happens in the end. I wasn't ready to put up the ball.
Yeah.
Elm City.
Mm-hmm.
So my coach told me that Elm City's looking for tryouts if I want to go play. It's a summer league, yada, yada, yada. I was like, all right, then. So me and my captain, Chris Canero, went for the tryouts. Made it.
Mm-hmm.
And we started playing there. And we ended up winning
Yeah.
the national championship.
Ooh.
Yeah, we had first year.
Killer. Killer.
We ended up winning the national championship. And between that senior year and that summer
Yeah.
is when I think, like, everything started clicking for me. Like,
Just like that.
being able, like, just understanding, like, you're a little bit better than you think you are.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So a little bit more confidence,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit more assertiveness in, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
one thing you don't want to do as a kid is make mistakes. And I think that was my problem. I didn't want
Right.
to make mistakes.
Right.
So I always looked to do the safest thing so something that everybody say, oh yeah, he can play, but
always a but
there's
behind
always
your
a
name.
but. Why? You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
I think that's when I learned, like, you got to kind of be fearless when you play on the field. Like,
Yes.
you got to take the game like it's your
Yes.
last game and just.
Right.
So that's where everything changed for me. That 2013.
Beautiful.
2018.
So was it in that time? Yeah, something like that?
Yeah. So because, I mean, once you get to Elm City, right? It's not a college, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They were playing what? MPS.
It's NPSL, yeah.
MPSL. And you guys won nationals.
Yep.
So that's
That was in college, yeah, as you say. That's when, like, that was Connecticut.
Yeah.
Right.
So basically, that was the best players in Connecticut
Connecticut,
at
right.
that time.
Yeah.
At that moment, I thought I was part of it, so I probably shouldn't say that. But at that time, we had, like, we had the state.
Yeah.
That area was our area, because, like, New Haven, we played at Yale. Every game was packed.
Nice.
3,500.
Who was like you had Bull,
So there was Bull.
Tyler Carlos.
No, Tyler played for Hartford City.
Oh, he was playing for Harvard City at the
That
time.
first
Oh.
time.
So
He
who-
played for Hartford City. He came the next year.
So who was it? Q.
Q played. It was me, me, Bull, Kalu. Kalu was on that team. Lucas.
Yep.
And then he had his post boys, Ani,
I was just
Ish,
about to ask you about Ish.
and Kevin Ipina was playing left back. We had another kid from Australia. And the goalkeeper was Matt Jones, professional goalkeeper, former professional at that time. Yeah, Benfica goalkeeper.
Ooh.
Nasty team.
Ooh.
And then we had a kid named Christian, who was like Mexican, played like pro. He played like in midfield, Kalu. Oof.
Yeah.
So we had a good squad. Like, I'm telling you, like, even the bench was good. Lamboy was on that team.
Boy.
It was a good team. So
Sick.
we went through and played some, like, to win it the first year. That was literally the first year we played.
Yeah.
And we won it all. And we won it in New Haven. The final was in New Haven.
Nice.
Yeah,
Wow.
so-
I think that's what kind of puts you on the map around here. In
Yeah,
Connecticut.
I think so.
You have any
Because
footage of it?
if I have footage on it,
Yeah.
there's like a highlight tape on YouTube or something like that. You
Okay.
can probably see it.
Yes.
So yeah, that Elm City kind of put my name out there.
So during this time, because I know you said that I wasn't thinking of going pro. Now that you have accomplished all these things and have win your confidence over, in this time were you thinking that no, I have a chance to make it as a professional player?
Yeah, there was talks like after that Elm City season, like we
Yeah.
were supposed to go see the Red Bulls.
And what age were you at the time?
21, 22,
Okay, we got it.
23, you know what I mean?
All
22, 23, yeah. So we were supposed to go see the Red Bulls and all that. But like that was when like international spots matter.
Okay.
And so they were like, they would have to pay a lot more. Like, I wasn't like coming in as a freshly Jamaican starlet. Like, you know, I went through the system, the college system,
Okay.
played NPSL. It wasn't like it was exciting. Like, you need somebody to take like a chance on you,
Yes.
and there was nobody willing to take the chance. you know, there was like, oh yeah, he's good enough to play,
Right.
but is he good enough for us to take a spot away from, you know, somebody else? So
Yeah.
that didn't work out, which was fine. You know, I was fine in where I was. You know, I played.
Yeah.
I enjoyed what I was doing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I was just starting to kind of figure out America without college.
Yes.
So it's fine. You know, and then we ended up playing some games somewhere else, getting some looks somewhere else, and ended up with Newtown winning that amateur championship.
Boom.
Uh,
Newtown. Newtown pride. For people who do not know who Newtown is, tell them about Newtown. You know, I'll do it. They won $1 million.
yeah,
That's who Newtown is. $1 million team.
I wasn't a part of that $1 million team though.
Unfortunately. Did you get offered to go?
At the beginning,
Yeah.
but then they went a different direction and everything.
Okay. Yo.
But also, it was like it was at the time the tournament was, it was like my honeymoon, so it was right after my wedding. So
Okay.
we probably wouldn't end up going anyway. couldn't get that one going. So
Yeah.
so we started playing with Newtown in the CSL, and then
Yeah.
we played in the Amateur Cup,
Right.
which is like you play New York teams, you play Maryland teams, and stuff like that to try and go.
Mm-hmm.
And then so we won the regional in Philly,
Mm-hmm.
and then we had to go to Chicago.
Mm.
Played 2 games. We won the first game easily, but the second game was against some Milwaukee team. I got a red card.
You got a red card?
I got a straight red in that final.
You were mounting not the ref, weren't you?
No, so there was a woman, a lineswoman. She was line during the game, and so me and a guy, he was walking straight and I was walking across.
Yeah.
So something happened, and I was like, "Whoa!" And so my elbow hits the guy as he's walking by me.
Yes.
Guy goes down. The lineswoman, obviously from her angle, probably saw me. I think
Elbow
I did
the
that.
guy, yeah.
Straight red.
Mm.
I was like, "What the hell?"
No questions asked?
Yeah, no.
Wow.
The referee ran over. She called him over.
Yeah.
Him over. And
Oh.
they spoke, and then he gave me a straight red. And that was my final. It was like in the second half. Yeah.
You get a red
Straight
card in
red.
your finals?
In the final, yeah. And then they played the
Oh.
10. Yeah.
You guys lost.
No, we won.
Oh.
That's what I said in the first part. Yeah, so
Killer.
we won that.
No thanks to you.
No thanks to me. You're right. You're truly right. But that was a good experience, you know. That
Yeah.
was fun. So I always say this like to my wife and like people I talk to, like soccer's really opened the door. Like I wouldn't have gone to Chicago. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
just being able to play and be able to play at a high level, you're able to go to certain places.
Yes.
Like soccer's taken me so many places in this country.
Amazing.
For you know what I mean? So it was good, you know. Got to go to Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
won that, came back, and that's when I linked up with my team in New York.
Lansdowne.
Ooh, Lansdowne. But during this journey, I haven't heard you say anything about KO Elites. What about that?
Well, KO
You're
didn't really
beefing
come
with
into
us?
play. No, KO didn't. They started in 2019,
Okay.
so they weren't really, you know, and they didn't really kick on like that
Okay.
until like a little bit later. But
Yes.
yeah, there's some history there.
All right. Beautiful. We can cover that a little bit later. So you're now at Lansdowne, and Lansdowne is what, semi-professional?
They're a semi-professional team out in Yonkers, New York.
Semi-professional team in Yonkers, New York.
Mhm.
How did you get to Lansdowne, basically?
So that same amateur cup, we had to
Yes.
go to Philly.
Okay.
So I played in Newtown. So that game, that regional game,
Right.
we won. I scored in that game.
Killer.
So the Lansdowne team was playing the next day in a different competition, but they were just at the amateur cup watching it.
Right.
There's some Kareem and Keeley were on that team.
Mm-hmm.
They were also on Lansdowne at the time.
Okay.
So the guy was like, "Hey, what do you think about that guy? Can we bring him in?"
Yeah.
And they were like, "Okay, yeah." And so he then texts me and asks me if I want to stay for the next game,
Yeah.
which was the day after. I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't have a hotel room, yada yada." And you're like, "Don't worry about it." So they got me a hotel room, and then I played the next game after. I played like 5 minutes the next day.
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Wow.
Because the coach didn't know me.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't know anybody, so I was
Yeah.
just on the bench. I had to play like No, I played 5 minutes towards the end, and then we went to extra time,
Yes.
and we won 1-0 in extra time.
You scored?
No, did not
Okay.
score. I just ran. So, so yeah, and then I've been with them since then.
Been with them since then, man. And man, that must be something. That must be some journey. Cause I've watched you around the teammates.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen like your relationship with them. How did you build that relationship with all the teammates, even with your connection on the field? How did all that happen?
That's just experience. As you play with people and you understand how people are. Some people are a certain way. Some people are. You learn to like. That's what makes it easier on the field. You got to kind of learn who you're playing with. You can't. You have to understand their faults, understand what they're good at. Like,
Right.
So that's what's it. If you know who you know, then it's easier on the field. If you like kind of only focus on yourself and like not really learn the other people's abilities, like I'm not saying like it's got to be something bad, but if you got a right back and he's playing left back and you know he can't use the left foot, you can't be running away. You got to help him out. You got to be closer to him just to help him out. So just understanding your players, understanding your teammates, and like people in that area are, they're not too uptight.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's just, I always say this, it's terrible, like glorified Sunday League. I know it's probably terrible to say, but like it's high level, we train, you got to show commitment, you got to be fit, you got to be able to do what the coach demands and stuff like that. So that's what kept me like kind of going, like kind of understanding that, hey, you got to make sure this is right, this is good.
Yeah.
And like, so as you say, like learning people, understanding different types of people, understanding different relationships, understanding how some people are. Like some people come to practice, they take 15 minutes to warm up, like as in like talk and be open.
Yeah.
They like to do their things on their own. That's when you don't really say anything to them until they warm up. That's not because they're bad or mean persons. That's just how they are.
Right.
And you have to respect that. So once you show respect to people, people will show respect to you.
Amazing.
And then once the ball starts rolling, if they see that you can play, they're kind of self-explanatory. They're not gonna, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, thank God he's here today, or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's just building relationships. You have to understand people, get to know people.
Right. And there's one player that stood out for me when I was watching you guys. It's this big, tall striker, man.
Yeah.
What's
his name?
Shamir?
Shamir. Is it Shamir? I don't even know.
Yeah.
You need to get this guy on the show.
He's got some history,
I know.
Shamir's my only blue tick.
Really?
On Instagram. Yeah.
He follows you back?
Yeah. What do you mean? He better?
He better follow me too.
I follow him too. Yeah.
Yo,
Shamir.
get
Shamir's
him
my boy, man.
get him on the show, man. That would
Shamir's
be.
got history.
I know.
Shamir's got some history, man.
Shamir is like what, 6'4",
6'4",
and he's like 300
fast, quick,
pounds,
strong.
and he's like Usain Bolt.
So this is the
Jeez.
story. When Shamir first came to us,
Yeah.
right? So one year we won everything. Lansdowne.
Boom.
So I won the National Amateur Championship back to back.
Killer.
So I won it 1 year with Newtown. It didn't happen because of COVID.
Right.
And then the next year I won it with Lansdowne. So back to back I won it. Shamir came to us sometime in September, October.
Yeah.
Didn't lose a game for a year.
Mm.
He didn't lose a single game. That was when we won. I think we won like 7 titles in that year. Everything that we entered, we won.
Wow. Make your double champ look like nothing.
We played like for 365 days.
Yes.
We played about almost 70 games that year, just playing games, different rounds, all that going on. We went to Chicago, we went to Detroit, so we won everything.
Yeah.
And Shamir didn't lose a game for like 375 days.
Wow.
And so that's when he just came in. Like, he just came in, didn't lose a game. That was one of the biggest, like, things that was going around, like, when we show up. Like, oh, geez, he hasn't won a game. He hasn't lost a game.
Yo, that is.
So it was like, it's good. He's a good player. Good guy, too.
Yo, you have anything for Shaq, Danny? No?
Not much, no, you guys are covering a lot. It's
Bro.
his whole journey. From his kid all the way till now.
That is amazing. Yeah. So we have covered your past, starting playing football at what? Age what? 9?
9? Nah, man. Earlier than that.
Earlier.
5.
6,
Oh,
5.
Was 9. So you started playing football when you were 5 years old.
Yeah, as long
Your-
as I can remember, I was playing ball.
Your uncle was the one who
Yeah,
bring
kinda.
you under his
My
wings.
uncle, because my uncle played, as I said, he went to college.
Yes.
Then he played at Santos
Ooh.
under that coach. Oh my God, what's that coach called? I don't want to say this. He's the one. Spraga. Is Spraga? Spana.
Oh, Spana.
Spana. So he played at Santos under Spana. And so I used to watch him play. So he was like kind of my role model growing up, like seeing him play and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Man. So your uncle brought you under your wings.
Yep.
You went to KC, one of the biggest schools in Jamaica. You went to another big school where you met one of the big coach, Ali, man. You left. You got a full scholarship.
No, so I got a partial scholarship to go to
Sorry,
Reinhardt.
a partial scholarship,
And
and
then I got
then
a
you
full
got a full scholarship,
to go to Sacred
and
Heart.
then you play for this. I forgot what the
Elm
Elm
City.
City Express.
Allen City Express, where you won
One NPSL.
MPSL,
Yep.
and you left and you went to Newtown.
So Newtown was like at least I think like 2 years because we played again with Elm City. 'Cause we played in the Open Cup.
So it's like back and
we ended,
forth
up, we ended
between.
up making the Open Cup, so we played with
two.
Elm City. And then after Elm City ended, I played at Newtown.
And then you went from Newtown to Lansdowne, and that is where you are today.
Yeah.
Still playing at
still
Lansdowne.
playing.
You're how old are you?
I am 30 years old.
30 years old,
Mhm.
not 31.
Not 31.
Big
No,
30.
my birthday was
Big
the other
30.
Big
Happy
30.
belated birthday,
Thank
man.
you. Thank you.
God, Danny's gonna be 30 soon.
Yeah.
And
Remind me.
you marry just the other
I
day,
got
right?
married in May. Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. We need some little Shaqs running around for the future of KO Elites. So now what's the future like for Shaqqi Fresh?
Oh, jeez.
What's the future?
I don't know.
You're gonna be around the game though. You started coaching, right?
Yeah, I coach now. You know.
Coach kids?
Yeah.
How's that going
coach.
for you?
Love it. You know, I love like it kind of gives you a different dimension.
Yeah.
You know, from playing. And it's a funny job. The kids really do say some stuff, so they really do keep you on your toes. You know, it's a fine line between being assertive and being that coach that they can come to if they make a mistake. You got to make sure you balance that out. So it's a different world, coaching and playing.
Yes.
You know, because sometimes you're like, what is wrong with this kid? But then you're playing and you're like, oh, that's what's wrong with that kid. Okay. So, but yeah, so I plan to be around the game as long as I can.
Yeah.
I wasn't really set out to be in an office yet. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not me. But it's good to be around the game. I'm trying to continue to be around it in as
Yeah.
many ways as possible. Trying to learn, you know, because you always can learn something.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
That is it. And one more thing before you go, Shaqqi Fresh, because I know you want to go play some ball. Give the future kids that are watching advice that has the similar dreams and aspiration as you. And speak in the mic and look into that camera for me.
All right, the biggest thing I've learned growing, playing, coaching, you have to be fearless.
Boom.
You cannot be scared to make a mistake. And the mistake is making a bad pass. Mistake is dribbling the ball out of bounds, not controlling, not scoring. Because there's always another game. There's always another game. It's never your last game. Like, it's never your last practice. It's never your last touch,
Yes.
right? When I do my privates, I always say to my kid, I bring out 8 different balls, right?
Yeah.
So if I pass the ball to you the first time and you miscontrol it,
Yeah.
there's 7 more tries to go again.
That's right.
And if you then get those 7 correct, you get 7 out of 8, right?
Yep.
Would you rather get that first one and then lose the 7 and mess up on the 7, or mess up on that first one and get better on the 7? You want to get better.
Yep.
So you can't be scared to make a mistake. Because you're always going to make a mistake. How many people miss empty nets?
Danny miss it all the time.
How many times a goalie makes the ball go through their legs? Like, everybody makes mistakes. This sport is about making mistakes. Who makes less mistakes is who wins.
Yeah.
So if you can accept that you're going to make a mistake,
Yeah.
and not be scared to express yourself,
Yeah.
scared to take charge, scared to be confident, and know that you're going to make a mistake, you're going to mess up a pass, but you have to be able to have short-term memory.
Yes.
Short-term memory is what I call it. You got to be able to forget it. If you can't forget it, it's going to dwell with you. You miss an empty net, but your team wins 2-1. Are you going to remember the empty net you missed? No, you're going to laugh about it with your friends, right?
Celebrate.
Yeah, you're going to be fine because you won. Who cares?
Yes.
And then guess what? You play next week.
Yep.
Nobody's going to remember. So that's what I try to tell my kids now, my U9s. Like, they play a game in September, and by October, they forget the score. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It matters what's happening in front of you. If you can continue to grow, I'm not saying you make a mistake, don't worry about it.
Right.
But you analyze it and say, why did that happen?
Right.
What could I have done differently to make it better? And that's how you continue to grow. You make a mistake, you try to make sure you fix it. Well, you can't make mistakes, and don't change anything.
Right.
Because that means you're not learning. That means you're just accepting that, hey, you know what, that's not me.
Boom.
You know what I mean? So, but that comes with playing a lot. Experience, playing with people, seeing how defenders are, or seeing how forwards are.
Yes.
Like, everybody has their own thing, but everybody kind of plays in a way.
Right.
Like, some people are fast, some people are slow, some people are big, some people are aggressive. You got to figure out what is everybody's ick, you know? So the one thing I'd give to a kid growing up is don't be scared to make mistakes.
Boom.
Great message.
That is it. And that is time. I know I never had an intro, but I tried to work on an outro. Right?
There we go.
Yeah. So this is it, right? So there you have it from Shaq. And this is my outro for him. He beats everyone on the field. He is silky and slippery like a snake. Do not step to him. He is the best. And he goes by the name Shaqqi Fresh. So that is it. And that's time. So far, that's all. And we cannot leave without giving a shout out to our sponsors, KO Elites Football Club. We have Davis Media, Nick Media, and certainly last but not least, Oil Labs for your best fragrances known to man. So until then, keep watching and stay dreaming. Boom, we're out.
Soundstripe.